Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today I am going to share my review on an inspiring TEDx talk titled Learning How to Learn by Barbara Oakley. This talk is about one of the most important skills in our lives, how we can improve our ability to learn effectively. In today's rapid change world, learning is not limited to schools, colleges or universities. We need to continuously learn new skills throughout our lives. Whether we are students, teachers, professionals, or entrepreneurs, knowing how to learn better can help us achieve success. Barbara Oakley, who is a professor and an expert in learning science, explains the science behind how our brain learns and provide practical techniques that can help everyone become a better learner. The main message of Barbara Oakley's talk is that learning is a skill that can be developed. Many people believe that some individuals are naturally good at learning while others are not. However, Barbara explains that with the right methods and understanding of how our brain works, anyone can improve their learning ability. She shares that successful learning is not just about spending many hours studying. Instead, it is about using effective strategies that help our brain process and retain information. Understanding how the brain learns. One of the most interesting concept is in this talk is that explanation of two modes of thinking. Number one, focused mode, and the second one is diffuse mode. First of all, focused mode happens when we concentrate deeply on a problem or topic. For example, when we are studying difficult concept or solving a mathematical problem, we are using focused thinking. However, our brain also needs diffuse mode, which happens when we relax and allow our mind to make connections. Activities like walking, talking, a break, or sleeping can help our brain organize information and develop new ideas. This teacher teaches us that breaks are not a waste of time. They are an important part of our learning process. Next, the importance of practice and repetition. Barbara Oakley explains that learning requires practices and repetitions. When we learn something new, our brain creates connections. The more we practice, the stronger these connection becomes. She compares learning with building a pathway in the brain. At first, the pathway is weak, but continuous practice make it stronger and easier to use. This idea is very important for students and professionals because improvement comes through consistent efforts, not overnight success. The third concept which is discussed in this talk is overcoming procrastination. And other important topic discussed in the talk is procrastination. Many people delay their important tasks because they feel uncomfortable or think the task is too difficult. Barbara explains that procrastination is not always because about laziness. Sometimes it happens because our brain wants to avoid difficult situations. She introduces the Pomodoro Technique, which is a simple but effective method. In this technique, we work with full focus for around 25 minutes and then take a short break. This technique helps us start tasks, maintain concentration, and avoid feeling overwhelmed. Next concept which is discussed in the this talk, active learning instead of passive learning. Barbara also emphasized that The difference between passive and active learning. Passive learning means only reading, watching, or listening without engaging deeply. Active learning means testing ourselves, practicing, asking questions, and explaining concepts to others. For example, instead of reading a chapter many times, we should close the book and try to recall what we learned. This method strengthens the memory and improves understanding. As teacher and learners, we should encourage active participation rather than just memorization. Personally, I found this TEDx talk very valuable because it changed my perspective about learning. As technology and AI are rapidly developing, learning new skills has become more important than ever. We cannot depend only on traditional knowledge. We need the ability to learn, adapt, and improve continuously. The biggest lesson I learned from Barbara Oakley's talk is that learning is not a talent that only a few people have. It is a skill that everyone can develop with the right techniques, patience, and consistency. This message is especially important for teachers because our role is not only to provide information but also to teach students how to learn independently. To conclude, Barbara Oakley's TEDx talk, Learning How to Learn, is an inspiring and educational presentation that provides practical strategies for improving learning. The key lesson from these talks are understand how your brain works, balance focused learning with proper breaks, practice consistently, avoid procrastination by taking small steps, use active learning techniques. I highly recommend this talk to students, teachers, and anyone who wants to improve their learning skills. Thank you for listening. Allah Hafiz.